Welcome back. It's time to have our quick press review. But before we start, let me first welcome my dear guest live here in the studio, Dr. Hala Enara, our political analyst. Thank you very much for being with us, ma'am. And we are going to start with Al-Akhbar, where we read a miracle in Egypt's western desert. A discovery of a water storage that is capable of cultivating 7 million felons. And starting the cultivation of 30,000 felons on both sides of El Daba Road, a French delegation tackled providing the solar energy and modern technology for the project. Some good news?
Yes. But experts said we have underground water capable of irrigating millions of felons. Maybe they are not tapped, they are not used. But this is a very good news, of course.
Yes. And from El Masri Al-Yom, we read more local news. The first batch of the lagged medications in mid-December. The batch comprises of the important medications. The medicine chamber says we call for more production despite the losses. One of the most important crises we are facing now, and I don't know if this is only due to the foreign currency crisis or it's the greedy international companies and the fierce competition among them, or it's the shortage of production here in the pharmaceutical companies of Egypt. I don't know, is it a combination of all these elements which ended in this? If you can elaborate on that, ma'am.
I don't think it's the evaluation of the dollar, because it started just after this evaluation. You cannot believe that in one day the storage of all medicines has finished. They hid it. Pharmacies are hiding medicines and telling people that they don't have the medicine.
Yep.
And many of them can sell them for bigger prices because there are such kinds of illness, sugar, blood, or
chronic disease,
heart,
you mean?
or cardio medicines, or cancer, or things like that. People cannot wait.
Sure.
They must have their medicine on a regular basis. So they are ready to pay anything to take this medicine.
I don't know why some people were politicizing this, saying that also another conspiracy is behind this crisis to make the people angry, to make the people feel that the cabinet or the government is not making enough effort to support the people with their vital needs. Do you agree with this point of view, or the conspiracy theory cannot justify all the crises we are facing?
In fact, there is something suspicious.
Okay.
Because it cannot disappear the next day when they devaluate the pound.
Yep. Yes.
They must have a storage at all pharmacies.
Yes.
They cannot just disappear.
It's not. I mean, the importance of medicines. It's not less than food itself. It's not less than bread. It's not than wheat. It's strategic good rather than many other goods. And I don't know why they have not disappeared like medications.
Yes, but if you connect it to the disappearance of rice, the disappearance of sugar, you must understand that there is something fishy in this matter.
Yes.
They cannot all disappear. Suddenly they all disappear and you can find them, but for a higher price.
Yes. So, as you've kindly mentioned, something suspicious and unfortunately to be added to the responsibilities shouldered by police and by the controlling authorities.
Yes.
Taking you to Al-Ahram, and in page 3 we read, with the participation of naval, ground and aerial formations, concluding the activities of the joint Egyptian-Jordanian drill Al-Aqaba 2016. The activities of the joint Egyptian-Jordanian drill Al-Aqaba 16 was concluded as it was carried out by elements and formations from the infantry, air and naval forces. The drill comes within the framework of the joint training plan of the armed forces of both countries, and also on Thursday, the General Commander of the Armed Forces, the Minister of Defense, General Sidqi Sobhi, witnessed Galut 8, witnessed the biggest strategic and tactical maneuvers, and this was in the Western District. and he had discussions with many of the soldiers and officers participating in these maneuvers, discussing with them how to deal with the sudden changes and with the planned and unplanned actions against the hostilities of the enemies. Ma'am, how do you see focusing on those drills? I mean, how do you see the media role in telling the people what's going on or how powerful the army it is in front of the terrorist attacks which are taking place, in front of the voices which are saying why we are having all these arms or these
yes.
new weaponries to be included into our forces, whether sea, land, or air. How do you see this?
In fact, our army is in the focus of attention of inside Egypt and outside Egypt.
Yes.
Just recently, we read many things about the army, some kind of instigation against the army. And Al Jazeera has been shooting a film and portraying a film about conscription in the army, as if it's something very horrible. And people has been talking about that on social media. I just said they must be envious. They don't have an army. They must be envious, and they must hope that this army face any challenge, face any catastrophe. They don't like it.
Tell you something, ma'am.
God save it.
The number of people going in and out of the building we are in here, the Egyptian TV and radio building, are bigger than the number of people already living in the country from where Al Jazeera is launched. But tell you something, Al Jazeera did something great yesterday, and I don't know why. What are their resources? They knew before us that the number of the martyrs, which is our coming headlines coming from Al-Masri al-Yawm, that the number of martyrs of Al-Arish checkpoint reaches 11 after the discovery of 3 new bodies. They knew about that, Al Jazeera and Reuters, before the Egyptian state media knew that. How they knew that?
Because they are cooperating with the commanders of the terrorists. They are moving them, they are paying them, they are providing them with arms and money. But they are just the face. There are other powers behind them. It's not only Qatar.
The marionette.
Yes, it's just a marionette.
And from Al-Ahram front page, we read the fires reached southern Israel and authorities arrested 12. The Arabs say we have been affected just like the others. The fires of Israel on the gates of Jerusalem or Al-Quds. We have more details in the coming report.
Foreign firefighting planes on Friday helped Israel tackle a wave of wildfires that have forced tens of thousands to flee their homes. This as Israeli police announced a dozen related arrests. Faced for the past 4 days with blazes across the country, fed by drought and high winds, Israel received airborne assistance from Russia, Turkey, Greece and Croatia. The flames in many places appeared to be easing somewhat despite the persistent wind. However, a new fire erupted close to occupied Jerusalem on Friday afternoon that the emergency services said was apparently started deliberately. Support from France, Spain and others was due while a U.S. supertanker, considered the largest firefighting aircraft in the world, was expected to arrive Friday night. On the ground, Palestinian firefighters joined the Israelis, sending 4 fire engines to the northern city of Haifa and 4 more to the village of Beit Mir, near occupied Jerusalem. In nearby Natif, along the border with the occupied West Bank, a new fire broke out on Friday afternoon, with 20 planes and more than a dozen fire crews, including 4 Palestinians, trying to calm the blaze. Israeli Fire Department spokesman said they believed the fire was caused by a Molotov cocktail thrown from a neighboring town. In the country's third city, Haifa, where tens of thousands have been evacuated Thursday from the path of towering flames which threatened entire neighborhoods, residents started to assess the damage after police gave them permission to return.
Welcome back. I don't know if this is another natural causes. Benjamin Netanyahu said that there are some natural and unnatural causes, and now the Israeli occupation forces already arrested 12, saying that or claiming that they are behind some of the blazes. Others are saying that the Israelis themselves are behind this to burn the olive trees of the Palestinians. Which is which, ma'am?
In fact, the belt of rain has moved to our region. It is not possible that we have such heavy rains and Israel has drought that leads to such fires. Palestinians say that they are doing that to make the ground ready to build the new settlements and to prepare for the international community. All the Arabs are sharing, see, Israel is in fire. God has set fire in Israel because they stopped the Adhan. Yes. But, of course, it's an Israeli plot.
And it's a man-made issue by all means.
But by Israelis, not by Palestinians.
The Palestinians, I don't think that they are going to burn their own lands. And finally, to Al-Ahram, page 7, where we read some regional news with the 120, including 60 Iranians, the bloody toll of Al-Hala blast in Iraq. Sectarian violence once again, and I don't know if this is a desperate attempt from Daesh, because they are encircled in Al-Mosul in a way that they do not have an escape route, or this is to say, or a show of strength that they can reach the Iranians wherever they are, whenever they are inside Iraq.
In fact, this never stopped. Sunnah attack Shiite and Shiite attack Sunni. Daesh pretends to be Sunni. It has nothing to do with Islam
in general,
in the first place. But they say that we are Sunnis, we are defending Sunni Islam, as if there are 2 or 3 kinds of Islam. Each sect is encouraging its kind of Islam and defending it. All the time they are attacking each other, and the victim is the Iraqi people, in fact.
Amen to that.
It's not against Iran, it's against Iraq, because Iraqis are dying every day because of these attacks. If for one time some Iranians die, that doesn't mean they are attacking Iran, because they attack Iran. Daesh can attack Iran.
Amen to that.
Because whoever are moving them know that they cannot attack Iran.
Dr. Hala Enara, thank you very much for your input, ma'am, and have a very good day.
Thank you.
Well, by this we come to the end of our quick press review. Stay tuned only on Nile TV International. Right after the short break, we are going to be back, so stay tuned.